What's up, beautiful nerds? It's week 7. Aristotle and Dante discover the secrets of the universe, and we're starting 8 parts of speech. So we're going to be doing some grammar, we're going to do some reading, and then, as always, we have a new post secrets writing to do. So this is what we're doing this week. So let's go ahead and walk you through it so you can understand it. So elements of a complete sentence, we're still working on that. If you'd like to practice, you have Quizlet. It's phenomenal. Great way to practice just these terms. Just a quick reminder: complete sentence, subject, verb, complete thought. And so because I think some of us have been struggling with this, we're going to back up a little bit and make sure that we know what a verb is, what makes up a subject. Hint, it's a noun. And so then we'll work into more advanced grammatical stuff. So you're going to watch a video and take notes. I explain the slide deck in this video right here, and then the slide deck, if you want to read it, you may also do that. The video is literally just me giving you the presentation on the slides. So you can pause, write your notes, and go at a speed that's more comfortable for you. Below, I gave you a sample of kind of what your notes should look like. You may do this on either a Google Doc or you can handwrite them and upload them, but I do need to see your notes as part of this week's assignment. And make sure that you are not just copying down your answers to the questions. Hint, I gave you some of the answers right here, but you're also copying down the definition or maybe even asking questions so that you know to ask later, whatever stands out to you. So make sure you're writing down both the practice and the actual notes. And then we are going to read. So it's broken up into different sections. And every time it's a new section of the book, it starts over with the numbers. And so last week or the week before, I kind of messed up. I had chapters 13 and 14, when really that was chapters 1 and 2 of the new section, essentially sparrows. It's a longer title, but we won't necessarily get into that. What I want you to start doing is I want you to start writing down words you don't know. So if you could do that, that would be phenomenal. And start identifying just questions that you have. If you run into a word, you're like, that doesn't look familiar, just write it down. Okay. If you want to take the time to go look it up, cool. If not, we'll do it as a class later. So make sure you are doing that. And then after you read chapters 3 and 4, you're going to pick a sentence starter. One of these: I wonder, I hope, I think, I predict, I want to know more. And you're going to complete that with a 5 to 7 sentence response, 5 to 7 whole sentences, guys. Okay. So you really got to start pushing yourself. And then I would like you to summarize what happened in these chapters. So you can either do that up here or you can do that down here. And then we've got another post secret. Yay. Do not judge the secret or the person. You can either give advice, you can relate to the secret, or you can put yourself in his or her shoes. And here is this week's. It's a little more lighthearted. I prefer cats over dogs. Do you agree? Do you disagree? But remember, you're focusing on giving advice, relating to the secret. You know, some people can get, they can get some real hate for this. So think about, how would you encourage somebody? Let's not jump into judgment. Remember, that's one of our rules. But you know, what happens when people have a preference that maybe isn't mainstream, maybe isn't always so acceptable to others? So how would you encourage this person? And so I just thought it was kind of funny. Maybe you're like, yeah, me too. And people hate on me for it. So talk to each other. I also picked this picture because it looked like my dog. Buster says hi. So what I'm going to do right now, if you want to pause and just kind of go back and start working on this, you may, but I'm going to go ahead and read to you chapters 3 and 4. So if you would like to start with the Aristotle and Dante and then go back and do the grammar, then keep watching this video. If you want to stop and go do the grammar, do that. You can come back to this video later and start over. So pick your poison, whichever one you want. So we're going to go ahead and open this up and scroll down, down, down to our section. So we're on chapters 3 and 4. So if you can see, this one's called, this section is Sparrows Falling from the Sky. And so we're on chapter 3 of that. So it's gonna take a second while we get there. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Okay, Sparrows Falling from the Sky. So we got 1, 2. Remember, it started off with him getting really, really sick. All right, so now we're on 3. I was allowed to watch television, but I discovered something about myself. I didn't really like television. I didn't like it at all. I switched the TV off and found myself watching my mother as she sat at the kitchen table, looking over some of her old lesson plans. Mom? She looked up at me. I tried to imagine my mother standing in front of her class. I wondered what the guys thought of her. I wondered how they saw her. I wondered if they liked her, hated her, respected her. I wondered if they knew she was a mother. I wondered if that mattered to them. What are you thinking? You like teaching? Yes, she said. Even when your students don't care? I'll tell you a secret. I'm not responsible for whether my students care or don't. That care has to come from them, not me. Where does that leave you? No matter what, Ari, my job is to care. Even when they don't? Even when they don't. No matter what? No matter what. Even if you teach kids like me who think life is boring? That's the way it is when you're 15. Just a phase, I said. Just a phase, she laughed. You like 15-year-olds? Are you asking me if I like you, or are you asking me if I like my students? Both, I guess. I adore you, Ari. You know I do. Yeah, but you adore your students too? Are you jealous? Can I go outside? I could avoid questions as skillfully as she could. You can go out tomorrow. I think you're being a fascist. That's a big word, Ari. Thanks to you, I know all about the different forms of government. Mussolini was a fascist, Franco was a fascist, and Dad says Reagan is a fascist. Don't take your father's jokes too literally, Ari. All he's saying is that he thinks President Reagan is too heavy-handed. I know what he's saying, Mom, just like you know what I'm saying. Well, it's good to know that you think your mother is more than a form of government. You kind of are, I said. I get your point, Ari. You're still not going outside. There were days when I wished I had it in me to rebel against my mother's rules. Just want to get out of here. I'm bored out of my skull. She got up from where she was sitting. She placed her hands on my face. Hijo de mi vida, she said. I'm sorry that you think I'm too strict on you, but I have my reasons. When you're older, you always say that. I'm 15. How old do I have to be? How old? Mom, before you think I'm smart enough to get it, I'm not a little boy. She took my hand and kissed it. You are to me, she whispered. There were tears running down her cheeks. There was something I wasn't getting. First Dante, then me, and now my mom. Tears all over the damn place. Maybe tears were something you caught, like the flu. It's okay, Mom, I whispered. I smiled at her. I think I was hoping for a full explanation for her tears, but I was going to have to work to get it. Are you okay? I said. Yes, she said. I'm okay. I don't think you are. I'm trying hard not to worry about you. Why do you worry? I just had the flu. That's not what I mean. What? What do you do when you leave the house? Stuff. You don't have any friends. She started to place her hand over her mouth and stopped herself. I wanted to hate her for that accusation. I don't want any. She looked at me almost as if I were a stranger. And how can I have friends if you don't let me go outside? I got one of her looks. I do have friends, Mom. I have school friends. And Dante, he's my friend. Yes, she said. Dante. Yes, I said. Dante. I'm glad for Dante, she said. I nodded. I'm okay, Mom. I'm just not the kind of guy. I didn't know what I was trying to say. I'm just different. I didn't even know what that meant. You know what I think? I didn't want to know what she thought. I didn't, but I was going to hear it anyway. Sure, I said. She ignored the attitude. I don't think you know how loved you are. I do know. She started to say something, but she changed her mind. Ari, I just want you to be happy. I wanted to tell her that happy was hard for me, but I think she already knew that. Well, I said, I'm at that phase where I'm supposed to be miserable. That made her laugh. We were okay. You think it'd be all right if Dante came over? All right. 4. So write your summary, maybe jot down a couple sentences right now. What just happened in this conversation with Ari's mom? And this book is great for sentences or for summary practice because the chapters are so short. So there's really only a little bit that you have to condense. All right, 4. Dante answered the phone on the second ring. You haven't been going to the pool. He sounded mad. I've been in bed, caught the flu. Mostly I've been sleeping, having really bad dreams and eating chicken soup. Fever? Yeah. Achy bones? Yeah. Night sweats? Yeah. Bad stuff, he said. What were your dreams about? I can't talk about them. That seemed okay with him. 15 minutes later, he showed up at my front door. I heard the doorbell. I could hear him talking to my mother. Dante never had any trouble starting up conversations. He's probably telling my mom his life story. I heard him walking down the hall in his bare feet, and then there he was, standing at the doorway to my room, wearing a t-shirt that was so worn you could almost see through it, and a ratty pair of jeans with holes in them. Hi, he said. He was carrying a book of poems, a sketch pad, and some charcoal pencils. You forgot your shoes, I said. I donated them to the poor. Guess the jeans are next? Yeah, we both laughed. He studied me. You look a little pale. Still look more Mexican than you do. Everybody looks more Mexican than I do. Pick it up with the people who handed me their jeans. There was something in his voice. That whole Mexican thing bothered him. Okay, I said. Okay. Always meant it was time to change the subject. So you brought your sketch pad? Yeah. Are you going to show me your drawings? Nope. I'm going to sketch you. What if I don't want to be sketched? How am I going to be an artist if I can't practice? Don't artist models get paid? Only the ones that are good looking. So I'm not good looking? Dante smiled. Don't be an asshole. He seemed embarrassed, but not as embarrassed as I was. I could feel myself turning red. Even guys with dark skin like me could blush. So you're really going to be an artist? Absolutely. He looked right at me. You don't believe me? I need evidence. He sat in my rocking chair. He studied me. You still look sick. Thanks. Maybe it's your dreams. Maybe. I didn't want to talk about my dreams. When I was a boy, I used to wake up thinking that the world was ending. I'd get up and look in the mirror and my eyes were sad. You mean like mine? Yeah. My eyes are always sad. The world isn't ending, Ari. Don't be an asshole. Of course it's not ending. Then don't be sad. Sad, I said. Sad, he said. We were both smiling, trying to hold in our laughter, but we just couldn't do it. I was happy that he'd come over. Being sick made me feel fragile, like I might break. I didn't like feeling like that. Laughing made me feel better. I want to draw you. Can I stop you? You're the one who said you needed evidence. He tossed me the book of poems he'd brought along. Read it. You read, I'll draw. Then he got real quiet. His eyes started searching everything in the room. Me, the bed, the blankets, the pillows, the light. I felt nervous and awkward and self-conscious and uncomfortable. And Dante's eyes on me. Well, I didn't know if I liked that or didn't like it. I just knew I felt naked. But there was something happening between Dante and his drawing pad that made me feel invisible. And that made me relax. Make me look good, I said. Read, he said. Just read. It didn't take long for me to forget Dante was drawing me, and I just read. I read and I read and I read. Sometimes I would glance over at him, but he was lost in his work. I returned to read to the book of poems. I read a line and tried to understand it. From what we cannot hold, the stars are made. It was a beautiful thing to say, but I didn't know what it meant. I fell asleep thinking what the line might mean. When I woke, Dante was gone. He hadn't left any of the sketches that he'd done of me, but he did leave a sketch of my rocking chair. It was perfect, a rocking chair against the bare walls of my room. He'd captured the afternoon light streaming into the room, the way the shadows fell on the chair, and gave it depth and made it appear as if it was something more than an inanimate object. There was something sad and solitary about the sketch, and I wondered if that's the way he saw the world or if that's the way he saw my world. I stared at the sketch a long time. It scared me because there was something true about it. I wondered where he'd learned to draw. I was suddenly jealous of him. He could swim, he could draw, he could talk to people. He read poetry and he liked himself. I wondered how that felt to really like yourself. And I wondered why some people didn't like themselves and others did. Maybe that's just the way it was. I looked at his drawing, then looked at my chair. That's when I saw the note he left. Ari, I hope you like the sketch of your chair. I miss you at the pool. The lifeguards are jerks. Dante. After dinner, I picked up the phone and called him. Why did you leave? You needed rest. I'm sorry I fell asleep. Then neither one of us said anything. I like the sketch, I said. Why? Because it looks just like my chair. Is that the only reason? It holds something, I said. What? Emotion. Tell me, Dante said. It's sad. It's sad and it's lonely. Like you, he said. I hated that he saw who I was. I'm not sad all the time, I said. I know, he said. Will you show me the others? No. Why? I can't. Why not? For the same reason you can't tell me about your dreams. All right. So that is it. Make sure your summaries are done. Your post secret is written. Your grammar is practiced. And I'll actually give you guys an extra day. So I'll give you till Tuesday. Try to get this done tomorrow or Friday. Try to get it done in one day. You got this. I believe in you. Because we did start the grammar part the previous class. So do what you can. I believe in you. You got this. You are loved. And I will see you later. Bye, guys.